The end of the Smash 4 era is upon us. Loose ends being tied up, power ranking applications being sent in, reviewed, send-off events dwindling down, overall sense to pay respects to the Smash 4 in its twilight for all it's given us as a community is also running alongside the overwhelming excitement radiating from anyone who's touched Smash 4. Smash Ultimate at this point, since it's been released about a week ago. You're listening to the Gloves Off podcast, a Smash Brothers podcast dedicated to leveling up the offline local community with some context and insight to what makes us tick. I'm your host, Chris ZX, alongside my static co-host, Koopa.
It's very hard right
Wait,
now.
hold on. Can you repeat that? Because I just unmuted you because recording stuff.
I was just saying that was a beautiful intro. My dick is very hard.
That's fantastic, dude. My job is done here. Let's call it a wrap.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So, anyways, we actually have a pretty full call today, which would include some of the regulars you already know. We have ML.
Sup, hoes?
What up, ho? And then we got R Hungry.
Excuse me, the art is formerly known as R Hungry.
What do you know?
The art is formerly known as R Hungry.
Oh.
No, you're talking to Zelda main. Get your shit right.
Zelda main.
Zelda main. Oh, I think I saw something about that.
Yeah.
Best of
Talk about
luck.
it later.
All right. And then a very special guest, our good friend from New York, the mastermind behind House of 3000, Devin 3000.
Hey, what up, what up?
Yo. And we're supposed to have Hazmat on today. I think he got lost. I think he took like a left or he just took a right. So
We'll be seeing you later, Hazmat.
Yeah, we'll be seeing you perhaps a little later in the broadcast. And if not, we'll be seeing you another broadcast.
That felt powerful to use. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, it's a good tagline. He's got it.
It is.
He's with Minnesota now. So we traded his rights to the Timberwolves.
Wait, wait, time out. So he's in Minnesota. What is he like living there?
No, he's on business duty.
Oh, right on.
He has to, I swear to God. He's always like doing something.
Yeah, he's Batman.
Duty.
I buy it.
Yeah. He's paid the poop in other states, obviously.
Yeah.
So anyhow, the idea this week is, as this is the final Gloves Off podcast before we go into Ultimate, is to kind of talk about how strange the past week has been since the game is leaked. It's been like a roller coaster of emotions for me personally, because I just had my final Smash 4 event, which was a Rutgers event over the past weekend, and in traditional fashion, it was kind of one of those events where like a lot of the small things just kind of went wrong, and there was like some technical difficulties. It was just kind of like work, and then meanwhile, there was like ultimate setups like on the premises, like in the basement, to where like I would see people come up and like they just all looked so happy after playing it, and like I'm just kind of like looking at the Smash 4 tournament. It really felt like I was talking to people who are like from the future. So, as someone who hasn't really had an opportunity to play the game yet, shit, kind of crazy.
Are you hosting anything this weekend?
This weekend is just going to be just like an unlocking party, nothing crazy. We don't even have a lot of setups. It's mostly just to get the locals together, hang out. But there's like so many send-off events, so I didn't really push for much.
Come to Xeno then, easy.
I'm sorry, not send-off, opening events. But yeah, no, Xeno. Yeah, you guys got something going on all weekend, right?
Yeah, come through. Seriously,
Is it just like 72-hour venue basically?
like overnight, but it's going to do. We're going to be open, close, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
Nice.
Gotta close at like 3 a.m. when
basically
no one wants to play anymore.
Hard cutoff for nighttime doesn't exist. It's basically like people are like respectful and not too loud or whatever, and like we still have some semblance of energy to keep going. Then it's fine. Not like
I've definitely been in a venue as late as 3:30 in the morning, and people still didn't want to go home.
Dude, that's going to be the whole weekend, because everyone who has the game already has been binging the game for like 9-10 hour days, from what I understand. Like there's people with like probably near 100 hours already, like if not well over that.
Oh yeah.
That frightens the shit out of me,
Dude,
man.
it's
Like,
crazy because you
Yeah,
you
I
really
think
think
it's been
about it.
almost 2 weeks too. I think it's been almost 2 weeks. I think it actually leaked 2 Thursdays ago on Thanksgiving or the day before Thanksgiving. So yeah, 100 hours in like 2 weeks.
I'm just
It's
thinking
definitely
about
possible.
I'm just thinking about trying to play like World of Light, and everyone's already like advanced tech and like talking about stage strikes and stuff, and I'm just like, whoa, man. Like, I don't.
I will
Like,
say, really quick on the subject of the game like leaking early, like that does suck because like it's not like in the past where like Brawl released like a full like month ahead, like in Japan than it did in the U.S. So like people would have to like import Japanese Wii's and like Japanese copies of Brawl to play the game early. Like it's a very different situation than like that. But the one benefit I see is that these day one tournaments are allowed to become a lot easier to watch because at least people are going to have like a semblance of what they're doing instead of just trying to like figure it out on the fly, and like I don't have to watch like two regions scrubs like SD like 7 times in a 3 game set.
That's a pretty good point. I hadn't really put that spin on it. I don't really
Yeah.
mind in either case because it's almost like just buying a game early and then like, or I'm sorry, buying a game late when it's already been released. Meanwhile, that's obviously not the case. So there's like that thing you could say where it's like quote unquote unfair, but in reality, like after a couple weeks, it's not going to matter.
You have to look on the you have to look on the bright side of piracy sometimes.
Yeah, like and it actually is helpful because we've already discovered things like all the glaring glitches on Lilad and some of the other stages that do work. Like there has been some sort of like semblance of beta testing as far as competitive stuff goes because everyone's really ready to get running with that.
yeah, people are testing characters. Like James has been showing off Crom stuff. Other people have been showing off like Pichu stuff, Belmont Tech, and any other like interesting character. We're already gathering info for it. Kurgan and Hammer is already updating the frame data page. Like he started like last week, and the game still had like another like 10 days to come out.
So I'm actually gonna throw this question to Devin as someone who's still putting out some Smash 4 content because you have the last Xeno Weekly is tomorrow on every Wednesday. So like it's a little bit glaring, right? I mean, like you're kind of on this game, you already know no one's really going to consume the content. Like you kind of just have to do it for posterity and like kind of just like to finish the job because you've been doing Xeno Weeklies now for a long time, all of Smash 4, and like just like you can ditch it basically, but like you're not going to. So I kind of want to hear more about that.
I like so was it last week? It was last week or the week before. It was because like the leak. So the leak kind of makes me like it's kind of mixed because like normally I don't care if there's like if people want to play early, awesome, like let them do it and like advance them as fast as possible. Who gives a shit? But when it comes to like trying to give a certain game, giving the game like a proper farewell, it kind of like dampens it, which is really unfortunate because now you have all these people instead of being hyped for the game to come out and like put all their energy in this last hurrah, you have it kind of just out earlier than it should have been as intended.
Yeah, and it throws stuff off, man, because you've had your events affected by that already.
Yeah, I mean, like the attendance definitely was like declining with the announce of it, and like you could see, and it's like the triple whammy. So you got the announcement of Smash, the start of winter, and then finals, and you're just like, oh, okay, rest in peace. But like, like with the getting like kind of lower, and then when the leak came out, I was just like, do you want to like even like host Xeno next week or 2 weeks from now? And I'm like, yeah, of course, we're just gonna keep it going because like one thing that we've always done was that we never missed a Wednesday, except for the time when we literally closed and we're moving venues. But whenever it was in our physical power, we never missed a Wednesday.
It's part of your brand at this point. I mean,
My brand.
I kind of think that stuff's like pretty important.
Schedules are really important, especially for streaming.
Yeah, especially like we kind of mentioned this earlier in the chat. Think like about tournament streams. It's a little bit like the way Twitch is structured. It's not really in your favor as like a tournament stream or organizer, like because streams are something. At least streams on Twitch are very personal between tips and like subscribes and like essentially shouting out anyone who is subscribing. Like the platform is made for that. So when you do have something like a weekly, you kind of have to compensate with just being as regular as those guys, and then do stuff on top of that. So yeah, it's hard to just like up and not do something at the whim of like a new game coming out.
Tournament streams are literal minimal chat interaction. Minimum, like almost none. The best you can get is just like talking in the chat while you're streaming or stuff. Like that, because it's really hard to have interaction. The most you can do is that if you can do like salty bets or whatever, or like something I want to do is like maybe have requests for certain matches to come up in bracket. But even then, it's still very, very
still tight to like make that happen. In terms of like some matches like kind of have to be streamed, whereas like some are. I understand what you're saying though.
When it comes to like personality streams, you have viewer battles, you have really that.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Sub tournaments like King of the Hill and stuff like that. Like all of that is like complete interaction with the chat. So that's what keeps it growing. Like this is kind of before Smash 4 came out and in between Brawl, like I did viewer battles in PlayStation All Stars. Judge me all the fuck you want. And, my stream was actually like pretty popular. Like it would be every Wednesday, and like I would have a schedule for it. And so like you'd have people joining the list for viewer battles before the stream even went live.
So you just like Wednesdays, huh?
Today, dude. Like
only on Wednesdays.
You can't you don't have to worry about traveling for weekends. You don't have to like pretty much that. Just traveling. It just mitigates all travel. Like you don't have to worry about rescheduling.
I guess so. It's usually like kind of thing like, well, you should know if you're off by Wednesday pretty early on in the week.
Yeah, but it's also like if you're traveling out to like a big major, the earliest you're gonna go out is probably Thursday.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably Tuesday. Whoa.
Optimal.
So
I like it.
You just never want to come home, which is an option.
It is actually an option.
Grab the rope, Kyle.
No, not yet.
But
So tune in next Wednesday for my Kid Icarus Uprising Wi-Fi battle stream, guys.
But yeah, the point
that actually used to be a thing.
I wish that was viable now.
Like my original point was just like having like King of the Hill viewer battles and all that. It was just like people would show up because there was a bunch of interaction. They were tuning in to do something. They weren't tuning in to watch. They were tuning in to do something.
Yep. Really
really quick
interactive.
about
when you're like
really quick about King of the Hill. That's like sorry to cut you off, Devin, but it's like this King of the Hill, low key. That's a side event that needs to like come back or like be more prevalent in tournaments.
Yeah.
I agree with
Squad
that.
Strike King of the Hill.
So, with just like keeping regular schedules and not giving up Smash that way, there's also things to tie up like power rankings and stuff, which are always very highly requested because anyone who goes to a tournament and competes and kind of takes competition seriously, they're trying to get on the power rankings. So even with like Ultimate out and most of the player base already playing it, there are still some people who like sought out to like get on the PR this year, especially in New Jersey. Like names like James and Naira won't be on the PR, opening up 2 more spots, mostly because they didn't.
Well,
Spoilers.
Oh shit, man!
We don't know that yet. I mean, I don't know.
Well, okay, so
Spoilers.
So you mean I can rank James now in New York, right? And
fuck.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Just do it.
Rosebud's his sled.
No, so I mean, despite whether they're power ranked or not, there are still some spots at the end, since we do a 15-man power ranking to get some names out, where there will be a couple new names on there. So, with that being said, there's still people.
Spoiler.
Oh no!
Redacted.
Well, anyways, there are some people, is what I meant to say, that really have already been on the PR but aren't sure and might want to be on the last one before the game dies. Regardless, people care about the PR and it has to come out. Can't just abandon it. So yeah.
Tomorrow they'll just like done.
It's actually, interesting story about that. Most regions actually finished up their PRs like months ago.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like,
Yeah, they didn't even like care about November, December.
Yeah, it's awkward to me. It's like, what's this
like,
count anymore?
That's so awkward.
because like SoCal's been in like an off season since like the beginning of August, I think.
Jesus,
Like,
man.
I don't believe power rankings are a part of like seasons and stuff. It's just like, hey, what's happening in the region? Blah.
I think it's a tool for telling what's happening in the region. I think the best part about power rankings is that like within them it kind of tells a story, like in sequence, obviously, because like if like Smash is like the biggest thing where you have people that like come in, come out, and then you have people who are just like consistent in the scene all the time, and like the power rankings are like the only real way to track that, as far as anyone really making waves and
The
competing.
thing that we like to do for Xeno is, and let me just get it up real quick, is God damn, where is this? That website bracket to have
Yep.
for every single weekly, and then we divide it.
Oh, interesting.
I could.
Can we talk about that time that Bankai was number 10 in PR or in New York for like 2 weeks?
He did it!
I mean, technically he was ranked. It's just no one else knew. Besides Dan. So
I could go on like
unfortunate.
about how much I hate. Like, it's just not a good time, bro. Like,
I mean, Devin's been around long enough. Do you remember the days of the Tri-State PR and not before like everyone went into their own different sub-regions?
Oh man,
Smash
I couldn't
4?
imagine the Brawl's Tri-State PR in like 2013.
do you mean Brawl? Or
Oh, I thought that's what he meant with Tri-State power
yes.
rankings.
but yeah,
Well,
what was it? My favorite was, this is a joke. Was 10th in New York in Brawl for one of the seasons, and that was the last season that they were separate. And so it was just like, oh, Helper's 10th. All right, we need to reach out quicker and like shit. All right, Tri-State PR. We can't have Helper 10th in New York. That's not.
Yo, shout out to Nintunist, 17th in New York.
Dude,
He
this
lives in New Jersey.
Dude, this list is kind of epic, dude. Like, shout like SPT, Protom at 11. Damn. Let's go.
This is
Even
Chris-
Fury
Yo,
at 10 is crazy to
Pro
me.
time with that sick third, that was awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, the Me Fighter solo, man.
Yeah,
God.
this is
I
this is
can't believe he stuck it out that long with the Me Fighter.
so like this one
Or Me
started this was started with October 1st, and like if you can scroll up and you can click on like to see the other quarters and all that, and then like we have an all time, but we're still like trying to figure out which algorithm we want to use or whatever.
Ugh, that's a
So,
secret one, isn't it?
can you do this with like combining multiple tournaments? Is this like a thing you can use, or just like for a series?
This is all the tournaments for like you click on tournaments, maybe it'll show up there. I don't actually remember.
Okay, I'm looking at it.
We'll have all these rankings include just the Xeno Wednesdays, so you can nice ball.
Interesting.
What's really funny is that Dill ended up telling me that it turns out that we are the league that we made on the site might be the biggest one on the site because it's like kind of just like underused, but like I think it's sick, dude.
Honestly, like I kind of want to use this for
Yeah.
the monthlies moving forward, like just to
I had
combine
no
all the
idea.
monthlies into
I had
like
no
one
idea this
thing.
website existed.
all right,
until
I'm not
now.
trying to shill this because I want those sponsor dollars so I can shill it, but like about this is like you can add weight to the tournament. And I haven't played with that yet, but like you can add weight to the tournament. So like you could have like a whole season that includes weeklies and monthlies, and have monthlies mean more or something, and that's pretty cool.
Dude, this is
That's literally what we do.
this is advanced
Yeah,
tech, dude. We could be we're working harder. We should be working
Yeah.
smarter.
You can use
just like-
objective data instead of pissing people
that
off.
garbage. And I'm not trying to like throw shade, but like using things like Skill Keeper where you have to use this offline database, and you're like, oh, okay, let me plug it in. This type of stuff needs to be visible
Well,
online.
what I think is strange is that there's people trying to create this now. Meanwhile, it already exists. So
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
why
yeah,
wouldn't we
it's
just use it?
It's one of those things that just kind of flew under the radar the whole way.
And I
Little
love
like Smash World or SSBworld.com.
So I don't know. I do think that the one thing I will say, getting back on task here, is that I've learned a lot over the course of my efforts streaming Smash 4, and I actually put a lot of work into this last season. Not just because like I'm trying to give the community like a good place and consistency, but like I just had ideas that I sort of wanted to launch, including like this podcast in the last quarter, just to see how it would go. And here we are 4 months later with this podcast, and I've sort of experimented with some things with tournaments, and like I feel pretty good going into Ultimate as far as like structure goes. So like for me, like as far as I look at Smash 4 as a beta all around, like a beta test for like the players, for the game itself, and then even for like content creators kind of figuring out smart ways to put out content. Like there was definitely a lot to be learned. So like I'm looking forward to just like even like something like this bracket website. There's just so much stuff to integrate and to consider for the beginning of Ultimate to really make like a significant sort of imprint early on.
Yeah, Ultimate release, like once it got announced, like it's not just a reset button on people being like, okay, see me in Ultimate, I'm gonna like really take advantage of this. This is a reset button for like everything, dude.
Yep.
Like it's the start of all that. Like I have been working so hard, you know, like okay, gotta get this going, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, dude, there was a lot to be taken in, and that was the one thing. And I said earlier on, like I was gonna talk shit in this call. I'm not actually gonna talk shit, but what I will say is like I pushed really hard also in this last quarter, and even pushing into this next game, like where I'm confident, and then I consider like regions that just took like the season off, and I'm just like why, because like now I'm starting to see newcomers come into like the into even like the Discord servers, and just kind of like in the pages, like the pages are at like an all-time like high with like views, and it's because now there's already a structure set in place, even just for like the local community, even if it's not like an amazing one yet. The point is like it's active and it's being worked. So like when a new person comes in, is interested in learning about the competitive scene, they get kind of like a preview of what it would look like once Ultimate drops. Like they have that. So really things can only get better.
Like even at the MHG Awards, there was someone who was like, "Oh, this is my first tournament. Like I've never been to a tournament before."
Yeah,
I'm
man,
like,
we've been getting new people. Feels good. Like, and that's the thing. And I've even seen like Devin, I'm sure you've seen some new people kind of come into like some of your networks. Like there's people like looking forward to the whole new thing, like that have never seen a competitive video game, let alone Smash in action. So like having a good structure is like very important.
Yeah, you know, I'll see DMs on like the house account on like Facebook or Twitter, and it'll be like, I'm planning on attending this. This will be my first tournament. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, come through, whatever. It's gonna be sick. You know, now is always the best
Does
time.
everyone? I was just gonna say that's a fun story because like it's a really interesting thing to bring up because I feel like that happens at the end of a lot of like game scenes. Because when I first discovered Smash 4, I looked in the area. Me, you know, stupid naive me, like 4 years ago, was like, huh, what is any Brawl tournaments I can go to in the area?
Ooh.
And well, I actually, believe it or not, I actually found one.
Let's go.
Yeah, so that's like a fun
Paid
like,
off.
side topic we can,
right?
yeah. What's up?
New Jersey, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So like, yeah, like New York, New Jersey was hella strong in Brawl.
yeah, but like I went to my first Brawl tournament in 2014. Like,
Oh.
yeah. So you know, everyone was playing the Fate game, but I figured it could be like a fun story to talk about. Like, does everyone remember like their first like tournament? Like,
Yeah,
or,
like
it doesn't even have to be this. Like,
Yeah, I remember my first one was in like 2015. It was just a college tournament, and I went 0-2, lost to some Falcon player and someone else that I can't even remember. I don't even remember who I played in that tournament. Like that was the beginning of me going 0-2 all the time. It was great.
Dude, my career started playing against Biddy at a customs tournament.
Oh god.
He doesn't remember.
Really?
My first tournament was a Brawl tournament, and I also played Biddy and won.
Damn, I'm jealous.
100% win rate in Brawl.
What year was your first tournament?
It was like 2012, 2013. I don't remember.
Who did you play in Brawl?
Everyone.
Oh, everyone.
yeah, we know. Corn.
Holy.
DLC in Brawl?
Random main, bro.
No, you Hungry played Princess K. Rule.
Stop. I wasn't a regular tournament attendee until 2015 though. Like summer, fall 2015.
2007.
My God.
Yeah, my first tournament was a Melee tournament, and like me and my brother went to that at the Web 2 zone. Good luck looking that up.
Web 2
Yeah.
zone.
I haven't heard.
That sounds like a
If I find it, can I get $1?
type of place.
Internet cafe. The site is actually still up. Some of the links are, most of the links are broken or whatever. But like, yeah, first one was like a Melee tournament. Me and my brother went to it, and this was like when Brawl was announced. So like, we didn't do great, but we were like super fired up, and so we were like, we'll wait for Brawl to come out. And then our first Brawl tournament was 2008 when it came out. Might have been 2009 actually, because we were still little ass kids and couldn't afford to go anywhere.
Crystal Maid is for sale.
So like,
I just really quick, because my first tournament was in 2014. It was a Brawl tournament ran by the Filipino Association at Rutgers University. It was held in some like, yeah, I'm not even kidding.
You know what KTAR
Like-
stands for, right?
Yeah, Ketaro's tournament at Filipino Association, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, like I found it through like a friend from school, and he's like, "Hey, if anyone likes Smash, you can come play this." And then like it was at some like Filipino restaurant in Bergenfield, and I went with one of my friends, and it was like the bougiest tournament I've ever been to in my entire life, because Meta Knight was banned, boo. Only half of the tournament was double elimination. You had to like get to a certain point. It was like a con tournament where
What?
like, yeah, it's like single limit, so you get to like a certain point.
So you got to
You
prove
couldn't
your
even go 0-2.
double limb. I like
Yeah.
it. That's a,
Yeah. And believe it or not, False showed up like randomly.
I
I
definitely.
think- Yeah, and I didn't realize it at the time, but like he showed up and he won the tournament with Ganondorf, and I'm like, wow.
Jeez.
believe it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
we probably got to lose to False Ganon.
You guys all just that Brawl highlights Twitter by Player One.
Yeah,
Yes.
I actually do like that account a lot.
Also, if you don't know Player One, he was a god Diddy in Brawl, and he was just really silly. I recommend looking up his combo video "Barrels of Fun." It's barrels of fun.
He
That's a
also
great
runs
video.
the Brawl highlights,
Yeah,
the Twitter account. The Twitter's great.
I'm really happy that Twitter exists because it's like really cool stuff to like relive or for to, like experience seeing that's like Brawl had some really cool shit.
dude, he's
Brawl has a
so
really
good at Brawl still.
Huh?
Like he's so fucking good at Brawl still. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, there are still people that only exclusively play Brawl and don't even care about Smash 4, like Mike Ray.
Uses me.
so for those of you guys who have like already seen like on the competitive end the change of one game to another, like aka Brawl to Smash 4, like how would you compare that now with like 4 going in the Ultimate, like with all the leaks and everything else, the overall like excitement and just sort of what the things people say, like how would you compare it?
It's really hard because like the community is so much bigger now. So like it's just the cliche of like how the biggest anticipation since but like even like before Brawl came out, everything was like really hyped for it. Like the dojo was super cool where you'd have like every day there was like a new update. Like I deadass checked that every goddamn day.
Yo, fucking October 10th, 2007, the day that my life changed forever.
That's Sonic or some shit. I swear to God.
Yeah, it is. That's what Sonic.
Motherfucker.
Of course.
Flash kick.
Wasn't it like at 5 a.m. too?
Yes.
Oh yeah. It
And
would
I
update
stayed up.
super early or super late, however you want to see it. From Brawl to Smash 4, I thought was pretty goddamn big too. I mean, it's a new Smash game, dude. Like you have literally everyone, like no matter what, anytime a new Smash game is announced, that is when the entire community is closest with each other. 64, Melee, Brawl, they are all Smash when a new Smash game is announced. There are no lines.
Dude, so that's like the thing is like, and I kind of saw some of that even on this past Sunday, like as I was like still doing Smash 4 stuff, and watching everyone come up and all happy, and like I don't think I've seen anyone this happy around Smash. It's been a while, dude. Like I remember some of the early tournaments, like people were excited for Smash 4, and then like people, obviously all the glaring problems started to show over time. So now I'm seeing people, like, it feels validating though, because the fact that everyone really likes the game is very exciting, which means that, because I don't think anyone would have known what to do if the game sucked, is what I'm getting at.
That Ultimate's gonna be bad.
Like imagine if Ultimate was just an awful game and everyone hated it. Like what would happen to like everything?
I don't think I could get softer.
A lot of people did not like Smash 4 when it came out.
Right, that's what I'm saying, and everyone seems to love like Ultimate, so it's like it's pretty great to like already kind of be able to feel good about that. At least for me.
I think when Smash 4 first came out, like it really depends on like where you draw the line of first came out, because obviously everyone played it when it first came out.
Well, the 3DS was the first part.
Man, fucking 3DS! I swear to God, make me use that goddamn circle pad.
My circle pad broke. I actually just fixed it like a month ago. Like finally fixed it. Got it all repaired. I did it all myself. It took months.
My R button doesn't work, and my L button just only works when it wants to.
Yeah, my L button doesn't even work anymore. It doesn't press it all the way.
That poor thing was not. That poor thing was not made for that kind of like usage.
Intense gameplay.
Yeah.
My 3DS works fine.
Can I have it?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unfollowed.
So yeah, instead of the 3DS this time, we just got leaks. So
yeah,
I have a question. Do you think that like the game was received so well like initially because they announced right off the bat that they're bringing everybody back? Like, do you think that
had a big factor in it?
That's really big,
dude.
Who else popped off for Snake? If you didn't, you're lying.
You have people.
you
have people who lost their mains and were forced to soul search. Like there are people who are parts of House who just don't play anymore and are coming back because of it. Like, oh, I get to play Snake again. Fan fucking tastic. That. Like you have Seagull Joe who like was. The fact that he made it to Sonic was like, okay, cool, but like he was the wolf guy. It was weird.
Yeah,
well, Sage was a Snake main, right?
The Snake main, and he really didn't like Smash 4 in the beginning because he didn't know who the hell he wanted to play. Then Fox found him.
So then this is a good place to pivot then, because I wanted to talk more about, I guess, more of the community stuff, since that's been a lot of the focus towards the end here, and rightfully so. So yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of people coming back as far as competitive Smash goes that we haven't seen for years. And Devin, it sounds like you already have like a ton of guys that are going to be coming back.
Yeah.
So like, what happens? I guess I remember there was a time when locals for Smash 4, like I remember the break when it used to have like 50 entrants every week, and that place is a shoebox. So
shout out to that picture of it's a screenshot of MK Leo and Tweak playing at the break. Just a random break.
There's a picture of that.
Well, there's a screenshot floating around, but there's definitely a set of them playing.
Whoa!
I'll try to look it up.
Yeah,
wait, what is it?
Link it if you find
it's
it.
Tweak and MK Leo playing at the break.
Oh,
dude, it's crazy.
Wow. I remember that.
I actually, one of the first streams I ever had on the Master Hand channel, when the stream was like absolute trash and I had no idea what was going on, Tweak was there. It was a Yestercades, and that was the only time I've ever seen Tweak on the stream ever again. Like. It's crazy to think of like send it in the chat. It's crazy to think about like how many people have like touched the stream and sort of have passed through, and like and then we've even seen people kind of enter in late. Like we've seen some players emerge, like the guys like Leon or Connor in New Jersey who like really weren't around at all for most of Smash 4, but then like you kind of see them get active now. So I guess my intention is kind of just give everyone sort of like a shout out, and this, I don't think this will be story time, but I guess kind of talk about some of the influential players and kind of people that make the scene at least around here. Like so people like like James, he hasn't been very active in Smash 4 like after all the hand stuff, and then like Jackal started getting all these crazy PGR wins just like a season ago, and then in New York, you guys have had so many different players on and off the PR, considering you only do 10-man, like there's definitely a lot of stuff to sort of like pay tribute to at the very least as we close out.
Yeah, well, so there's two people I'm gonna like bring note to. Like one person from like way back in the day that kind of like helped jumpstart me to start wanting to get better, and that's Orion. Like if you're a Brawl player, yeah, Orion is like not only like he's one of my favorite people on planet Earth. Like he just brings me so much joy when I see him because I just know he's gonna say some bullshit that's gonna make me laugh hysterically. But like he was one of the very first like people that kind of like reached out to me and like wanted to help me get better as a player, and like and then that kind of like branched off to like giving me advice on commentary, and like I can say that about a lot of people. Like obviously Gunblade, he isn't around anymore because he's doing life stuff, but he was a huge like advocate for me to do things, and like to this I'm always gonna be grateful for that. Because like I've been getting like super sentimental all week at like the last like fucking 4 days, and like I'm just all out of tears to cry. Like my body isn't awake at this point, but like just for guys like that, like they really reached out and like saw something in me for me to get better, and I went from this fucking like pot filler piece of shit like barely amounted to anything, and now I'm like the face of a stream, and I'm like a leader in the community, and I never really saw that on my future when I started. I wanted to be the best Mega Man player in the world, obviously.
Dude, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but and the other person I'm going to give shout out to, like on the other end, someone that's been in the scene for less than a year, but has made their impact is Stu.
Dude, yes.
So Stu he's formerly a wrestling announcer, and he claims he's only been in the scene for 6 months, and he's commentated. What's up?
Actually, a wrestling announcer?
Dude, yeah, like for real,
in-house
for real
wrestling MC.
Dude, Stu is legit as they come. Trust me. Like,
yeah, like
I'm at Fireside, so.
Dude, yeah, like you saw him there. That's like he's just got that energy behind him, and I have a lot of really good conversations with Stu. We'll probably have him on the show at some point.
What was the line? Rocket kick or something like that?
Rocket kick.
Welcome to Grand Finals.
Dude, he's
Like,
so
You
good.
can hear it.
He just he brings the excitement, and the hype part about it is because he's someone who wasn't really in the Smash beforehand. He just was like interested in the commentating end of things because that's where he's coming from. So like he always tells me like his goal is to basically make this stuff kind of watchable and put context and make it exciting for anyone who's watching the stream that doesn't just play. So the audience begins to grow, and that's exactly what's needed. So yeah, I mean in the past 6 months, he's really done like a pretty good job like for Philly and just kind of demonstrating that. Like even the Philly streams like have been a lot more enjoyable to watch with him involved, and yeah, man, it's been interesting to see people come in, especially when there was already people like years ago that everyone already knows, but like kind of disappeared.
Yeah, because like just on the subject of like Philly specifically, because Philly's a region that like I feel like every state and like every like sub-region of if you have like a Smash scene, they always have their commentator. You know what I mean? Like there's always one person you can recognize from every like one of the major regions. There's a handful of people you can pick out, and like Philly's biggest problem is that they had a rotating door of dudes. Like they had a really hard time like finding someone to establish himself. Like there was guys like, and obviously there was guys that came and went. Like was someone that he's a friend of mine.
I was gonna mention him.
I like, dude, I like him. He's good. He's just I think he has like
people.
life to deal with,
Yeah, he has kin. Like, he's got shit to do.
He's got kiddo.
Yeah, and then like PK Sparks is another name that comes to mind. Like there's people that I've met like in Philly that have tried to like make that get that name out for themselves. And Stu's the guy that just like he kind of took the moniker and ran with it. And I'm super stoked to see like what he can do with a game that like he can like actually sit down and like put some time into, because he's such like the way he talks just makes me so happy. Like we've been talking about it, like the way he just like emphasizes certain words. It's like it's the commentator in him.
Yeah, dude, it's character.
He makes it so easy.
Yeah,
it's fucking great.
And the best part is like because there's a lot of context thrown in there, which is something that I do think gets missing. Because like if you ever listen to Stu's commentary, he's constantly talking about like he will actually have a laptop or like a tablet next to him that basically help him look up results of the people he's watching and like follow the
Good.
bracket. So like he's paying attention and he's like providing storyline, which is really I think one of the most important things that a lot of streams don't always get to do because you do have that revolving door sometimes.
Yeah, when I left Jersey, I was like, man, I don't like to be like, I don't know, have a high ego or anything. But I was like, damn, there's not really gonna be like anyone who can replace me like super well. I mean, we have like Gump, we have Goda, who hasn't really been. At
But those guys
lately.
haven't been into it though. Like Gump
Yeah,
sort
that's
of,
the thing.
Gump
And then-
sort of was chilling on commentary for a while now. Like
yeah, and I was
just-
like, who's kind of gonna be that guy with Koopa? And I'm glad it's Stu. He kind of
Dude.
just took the role and ran with it. I'm
Big
glad.
same,
I'm
dude.
glad that he took over for that.
It was
like,
depressing.
Do miss Goda though.
There was a couple weeks there that were a little depressing. Wait,
Yeah, no, dude, I was watching. Believe me, I was like, oh man.
yeah,
I
because
also
feel bad.
I second Hungry, and I also miss Goda.
Yeah,
yeah,
Goda.
dude, I miss Goda. I know he's making some school moves, but one thing
Yeah,
I will
making life
say,
moves,
the
too.
one that I noticed, Zeno has a pretty good cast too, dude. I've noticed like Bars has been doing quite a bit of commentary recently, and it's pretty good.
Star of the Sun.
Oh, Mario the plumber, Cars. the movie.
You guys got like a lot of good people. So did Salty Fun? Did he move?
he just stays in Westchester now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've
Oh,
seen him
okay.
in the Westchester.
Yeah, because I
Like-
feel like he used to be a staple.
We used to have like on the regular, it would have been like Salty and Hangman and
Fang too.
and then like school and work and life happened to all of them. I know that Hangman got like completely obliterated by his work schedule, so it's just like okay, back to Canada, aka upstate New York.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, and there's nothing you could really do about that, man. That's just life.
Yeah.
Stefan has been like kind of like traveling less for commentary, so he's been like kind of just chilling in bar and stuff like that. Also, like he's been like working with the Encore guys, so I totally get that. And then Aussie came back, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I have like the once in a blue moon when Koopa comes through, and then we have Devon 2000, Koopa, Dupa 3000,
Super 3000.
Actually, I don't know if you know that.
What's up?
No one is better than us.
Yeah, for real. Actually, like someone made there's a Devin's new thing to do is like to send me just like random screenshots of like screen grabs and YouTube comments, and he sent me a YouTube because I made a joke the other day about like we were talking about like what's the difference between a tome and a book, and I brought up I asked if the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants is a tome, and some guy like thought it was hilarious in the YouTube comments.
I always like check the YouTube comments, and whenever it is about a commentator, I will send it to that commentator. I think it's like really important for them to see it.
Hey,
Even if it's like
Oh my
Hey.
you guys are you guys ready to start the podcast or what?
Are you guys ready to party?
Hey, my bad. Sorry, I'm an hour behind, so I totally just fucking forgot. Yeah, that exactly. I'm showing up. Technically, on my time, I'm 6 minutes late, so that's not too bad. What's going on?
I
The
give it
correct
to you,
time
man.
zone, broke. Being
Appreciate that.
actually 6 minutes early, woke.
Yeah.
Dope. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. What's going on? What are we talking about? Catch me up. I'm ready to go.
So we kind of covered a lot about essentially the weird contrast between still finishing out Smash 4 content and having people who had played Ultimate, and essentially how they're already gone and acclimated to Ultimate. Some of them with like 50 to 100 hours plus, and
Yeah.
like it's just
His name is James. Yeah.
I may have heard of him.
Um,
But yeah, so essentially, like we're kind of just going over. We did a bit of that, and we've kind of just been going around talking about community stuff now.
Cool.
But yeah, if you want to jump in, dude, I want to hear your opening thoughts. I don't like we're
Dope.
kind of in a midpoint.
Yeah, I'm not sure, what has been said already on the subject, so apologies if this is a little repetitive, but I think, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, I think the Ultimate release is so interesting, like, because there's no real muddied water about it. Like, when Melee transitioning into Brawl, everyone was really excited, but then Brawl was not what a lot of people were looking for, coming from, you know, a Melee background. Like, following up Melee, I feel like, unless the game was, I don't know, absolutely incredible in its own right. Not that Brawl wasn't, but from a competitive standpoint, it didn't scratch the itch that Melee did. So, and I love Brawl and everything, so I'm not talking smack about it. I love that game. It's amazing. But a lot of people feel like it didn't scratch the itch that Melee did. So there was kind of like this initial rift that was created. So that's like kind of the first initial backlash that you got from a new Smash game coming out. And then Smash 4 came out, and the thing with Smash 4 was it kind of destroyed and hurt PM a lot, and hurt the PM community a lot, because a lot of people were like, supporting 3 Smash games is like kind of tough, especially in the position PM was in. So there's always kind of been like this like dark little cloud whenever a new Smash game comes out, where people don't feel fully satisfied by it, or the circumstances in which a new game comes out like kind of has this little dark cloud around it. And for Ultimate, like, I haven't seen any of that. I have not seen anybody who is wrongfully, and they should feel so ashamed and so bad if they did it, playing this game early and checking it out. Nobody is like, this game sucks, like, I'm not having fun. Everybody's like, this is such a good and fun Smash game, like, this is so amazing, I can't wait. People are saying, like, I don't know, like, crazy shit about this game and how good it's going to be. And I think that's, like, you know, an interesting point is, like, it's been a while since we've just had a ton of positive reception around a Smash game, and it's not even out yet.
It feels validating, because we were saying how much work has kind of gone in just sort of capping off Smash 4, despite everyone kind of had moving on already, almost for like the posterity reasons. And
Yeah.
I feel like just having structures already set and kind of doing that work has already like welcomed some newer people who are just now getting into competitive Smash, like at least a vision of that. Because yeah, man, I mean, Smash 4 has definitely kind of given us a lot. There's, you know, whatever you think about the game or whatever problems you might have with it, there's no doubt that it caused some serious waves in terms of just like social interactions with people who otherwise would have never had any other social interaction. Like the power of like Smash in the sense of like kind of making things happen was interesting. So seeing it now with more people into it, and the Switch kind of being the Switch, and you know, setting record selling, I really think that there's kind of no limit to what can happen. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't really know what to expect, like for like the first half a year. I feel like it could really go so many ways, because we've learned from the past games, and then like, but this does feel like kind of different.
Like a big thing is like everyone's not excited to compete. Like, 'cause for me, obviously, I'm a competitor, so like I'm always excited for a tournament. Like, no matter where I'm going, no matter like the game's like already quote unquote dead, right? I was like, all right, I still want to win though, right? Like, and I still like enjoy the game. So when people are at a tournament, they're like, oh, this game sucks. I'm like, but like that makes me feel bad. So now that everyone's like hyped to just compete and like show their stuff and do their best, I'm like, all right, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I came here for.
Yeah, man.
The positivity is such an important thing. Like, as a player who was from the Brawl days, like 2007 entry, like Melee tournament, whatever. Like, I literally dealt with like all of these people just like shitting on the game that we were like pouring our heart and soul into, because we absolutely just loved it. And so like positivity is like really, really, really important. And I'm really happy to see right now at the very least, everyone on all fronts are being, you know, we're one community for Ultimate right now.
Yeah, for once it actually feels like that. And even some of the guys, even a lot of the Melee heads, you're seeing some of them kind of see the light. And I think I can't remember I think we talked about this last week, where it's like you're starting to see the Melee people, like kind of, it's almost like a weird panic to see people exiting that scene now to enter this one, or just trying to get people to see the light that is or was Melee. Because like it really does seem like this game is kind of catering to what a lot of people wanted from all different areas. Which
As
yeah,
much as I wanted to call this game Brawl 3, because Smash is definitely Brawl 2, I don't care. Like, from playing it at my friends.
Same.
We can
Actually,
neither confirm nor deny that the game was played illegally.
I
Like,
never touched.
after playing it with 7 pairs of gloves on and through a wall and
with a hazard suit on.
In airplane mode.
I don't think I can like call it Brawl 3. It doesn't feel. It doesn't. It's got some melee mix in it. It's got that. If you don't know how to move, you're gonna feel mad clunky. You know.
Yeah, it's watching all of the what's it called? All the footage of people like kind of normies playing, like all the Japan tournaments, like where they had the intermissions and they just kind of had the regular people playing. If you watch them play, if you don't know how to move, it really does look like Smash 4. Because I remember watching it and I was like, I feel like I'm watching Smash 4. And then the actual tournament comes on and you're watching the guys who've obviously already teched and been doing stuff and sort of know how to move in the game. And it looks very different than Smash 4.
Yeah, that's like any Smash game, because when I was in college living with my housemates, we had Melee in our house, but of course we're playing it on an HD TV, just connected with items on, and Mewtwo and Ness on the screen. And it's like, when you're looking at it, it's like, man, this game is like so slow. It's like clunky to play. It's unresponsive. But then it's like, oh, you watch Leffen versus Mango, and it's like, damn, they're playing a complete. They're not even playing Melee. They're just playing a complete. They're not playing Smash Bros. It's a different game.
Baby.
So, all right. So we were on the community spotlight before, and I know that we got some power rankings ending. And I know New Jersey, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of familiar names. We already got the spoilers. But like
some.
Redacted.
What are you trying to do? What?
Redacted.
I was just gonna say, I'm curious what's gonna happen.
Dive kick.
So like New York though, I've seen a lot of the regulars in Xeno have been like they've been very regular, but also missing a lot of what was there from the previous seasons. And I'm just curious like how different you think the PR might look over there with everyone who's kind of been there and not there. And I might be putting you on the spot, but
no, it's fine. I mean, like when it comes. I hate it so much.
you could just be like nah, and I can accept that.
Just do me a favor. Anytime you actually see Raptor, just punch him in the face. It's okay.
I like it.
Yeah, no. For the PR for New York, it's gonna be really weird because like what we do when we pull in information, like we have like a somewhat automated process. So we look things like pretty like close to the wire. Like when we release it, it was probably like the data was like finished being collected like 2-3 days before. But people have been like traveling to some things, and I just have not been paying attention to it. So I'm not sure how it's gonna rise and fall. I know that for at least between New York and like Long Island, less crossover. New York would not as often go to Long Island, but Long Island would show up to New York. You know, like you'd have like 1 to 2 carpools every week. But that kind of like started dwindling. You know, you had people like stock taking me like, well, I got class on Wednesday. I'm like, all right, sick. You were so it's gonna be tough comparing results for people who stay local, you know.
Right.
But look at the PR as like it should be a reflection of the people who are like putting work out of state, because the PR matters most on how much you're going to put a dent when you travel. So,
yep.
You know, if you don't travel out and you don't get those out of state wins, you're gonna have a much more difficult time, because it's like person who traveled out and beat Zero, but they beat Zero, you didn't, important. So like there's like a good amount, there's been like some travel by some people, but a lot of people were staying local, so it's going to be really weird.
Yeah, dude, this whole last season is strange, like all around, because
it never happened.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it didn't for a lot of regions. It happened here, didn't happen for a lot of regions, which is something we talked about a little bit earlier. But yeah,
never forget the Spectrum Smash that had more entrance than MSM.
Yeah,
that happened a few times actually.
Yeah, wild.
Yep. I actually just
I
saw
actually,
Most Spectrum's like record entrance.
Spectrum.
Probably like 50-ish, 60 people maybe.
Probably. I think they definitely. They had to have hit 50 for one of the weeklies.
No,
That gets
definitely had
crowded.
more than 50.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like
Yeah.
that's even conservative.
Yeah.
On Mondays, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
every Monday.
Spectrum Smash.
I actually
every
have a
Monday. Check it out.
yeah. Plug. I actually have a question that I feel like Devin is the only person that can logically answer this. Like,
Wow.
was the dwindling Brawl tournaments like were Brawl tournaments as like barren, like moving into Smash 4 as they kind of feel like now moving into Ultimate?
Oh, okay.
Like,
So
I
that
feel,
that is an interesting question because Brawl kind of ceased is not the same way Smash 4 is ceasing. It's really unfortunate because say what you want about Smash 4, I think the game is fucking amazing and I love it and is probably it.
It's a good game. It's a good game, man. I agree.
I
with
love
this.
Smash 4.
I say, yeah,
I love it.
You're,
It's a
you're,
great
you're right.
game.
It's a
It'll be
great
a
game.
Yeah, man. People
I
forget
like it.
how much better it is, like from a competitive standpoint than Brawl. Like it gave us so much shit, dude.
Personally think
It
that
wasn't perfect. Fuck no, but
I think it might end up being still the most balanced Smash we'll ever see, just because.
I don't know about that. But
No,
Yeah,
It's very
balance in
possible.
between like low
the way
tiers and high
people
tiers.
just
Not
kill
as big of
like,
a disparity.
movement in Ultimate. Like, this is a different subject, but okay. So, for example, like Brawl kind of like petered out on its own. It didn't like really get killed by Smash 4. You know, Smash 4 just like happened, but Brawl was already kind of like. But Smash 4, you know, like technically, if Ultimate wasn't announced, we would still be doing business as usual. You know, like there'd be still like some people who are negative on the game, but that gets so completely magnified when there is what a lot of people see as a line, as an ending. Even for me, right? Like House basically quit Brawl in 2012. Like me and Dill stopped playing in like late 2012. Sage ended up quitting in like 2013. He gave it one more year, and so the way Brawl kind of dwindled is really weird because like also it is a completely different time. Locals on a weekly basis was god fucking damn unheard of. Like me and Dill would literally attend maybe once or twice a month, going to like Poly Brawl and like Concentrate. Concentrate was kind of like near the end, but that was like this sick New Jersey thing hosted by DM Brandon and Doom, not Max. Doom. I don't care.
He's a Pokemon trainer now, man. Come on, give him some respect.
So like, it's even hard to see dwindling attendance to Smash 4 and then Smash 4 to Ultimate because Brawl didn't have that infrastructure, you know. Brawl was like still kind of building it up, and then Ultimate was like not Ultimate, and then Smash 4 was like, okay, everyone who's still here, now we're all like not as little kids. We might be you know, adults with jobs and professions and specialties, and now we can like do some really sick shit, and we saw a lot of that happen in Smash 4, and now we're gonna keep going with that momentum. It's a combination of people getting older and getting more specialized in what they do in their personal lives and able to bring that talent to Smash outside of being good at the game. But also like technology itself, you know, we have Twitch now. Like, dude, you don't know the
Justin TV
of streaming media encoder because XSplit didn't exist yet, because OBS didn't exist yet. Like oh my god!
Yeah, dude, that's what
I can barely stream with OBS, so that's cool.
but this
follow me on Twitch.
Also, before streaming, they were just like, "Oh, we're gonna record these tournaments locally, and you gotta wait like a week for them to all be uploaded in 3 parts."
Oh my god, dude! When there's like it's game 3, and each game's a timeout for 8 minutes. Oh my god!
Yeah. Also, game one's one game. Game 2. Game one's one video. Game 2's a video. Game 3's a video. So imagine how long it takes to upload all that shit.
Record it for like too long. It was just like you were a godsend if you had S video.
Yeah, and then the YouTube 10-minute time limit they had back then too.
They had the time.
Oh, yeah.
It was like 15 minutes, and then like if you had enough followers on your subscribers,
Yeah,
on your
you have to
channel,
be like a YouTube partner with like a certain amount of subs, a certain amount of views per month, just to have videos over 15 minutes.
Crazy, man.
That shit was archaic.
That's not even that
What?
long ago. That's
Yeah.
what's crazy.
That was like
Yeah.
2013, 14.
Yeah, that's not that long
Great.
ago
That's
at all.
smart. You could like apply to have it longer, and like some would get it and stuff like that. Like, so to answer your question, Koopa, very different.
So it is, and this is, we were talking about this earlier too, like where Smash 4 was just like a beta run for not just like the game itself, but like for the community and basically for people to become more specialized at what they do and how they do it. Yeah, dude, it'll be pretty cool going into this. Like, I feel more prepared going into this game than I think I've ever felt in all of the time I've done Smash 4, because my experience with Smash 4, like going out, is very similar to how I like went in, which was very like erratic and sort of stressful and problems happening. And then like I feel like it honestly feels like that isn't going to be the case. Although, you know, I'm sure some of that stuff still exists. Obviously, it's not like all your problems go away, but I definitely feel like way more prepared going in this time around.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's Brawl to Smash 4. Everyone is more experienced. Like, everyone is older. Everyone is better for it. Like, every game has a story to tell, and like the people are like always improved community. And like the longer
Everyone
you,
is old.
Yeah,
We're
that's a new tagline.
experience, man. That's the name of the game. I totally agree. Brawl is a young community, like overall, man, for sure.
because like Brawl was actually honestly this might be a little controversial, but like the Brawl community is kind of what like made, in my opinion, like part of what made Melee community today, you know, because like this was still in a time where things are still so fragmented and communities were so small, right? But Brawl was the beginning, for better or for worse, like for like the Melee scene, it was the beginning of a frustration, right? And because of that, it got people to pull together. And that's why one of the biggest Melee tournaments to bring back the Melee scene was literally called Revival of Melee.
That's right. No, you're definitely right, man. I mean, you can't argue that without Brawl, this whole Melee thing wouldn't be what it is today. Like that's just a fact.
Brawl was a switch.
There's
Brawl
no
was
yeah.
a new beginning for people to like see like people part of the Melee scene, people playing 64 or whatever, and like not really knowing how far this could go. Brawl coming out and seeing all the hype is the same thing from Smash 4 coming out, and you seeing a whole new wave of hype. Each wave bigger than the last.
Brawl
And
the New
this
Testament.
gives people, yeah, these releases always give people these like a lot of motivation to like actually do something. It's a reset switch, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one, and everything is included, so all fan bases have what they want. This is the move, man. And you know, and we've heard it like now that like Nintendo's involved in this, that, the other thing. I'm going to see if I find the tweet. I thought this was interesting. It was DC had made a tweet.
I was going to bring that up too.
Yeah, I think we're probably talking about the same thing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
the grassroots.
Yes. So yeah, I found it.
Saw that too.
So he has this picture. Basically, he says, "Not sad Smash 4 is dead. Instead, sad that grassroots is dead. Major's never gonna look like this again. Sob." And basically, it's just like what we know as, and I say we being the people in this call, as like a Smash tournament, like a bigger one. Like they're not organized. Like there's
this was a saga, by the way.
Yeah.
Like this is
Really?
a legit 2GG saga.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's actually one of the first ones, right?
damn.
Yeah.
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 You
see-
can,
saga.
if you look,
If
yeah,
you
zoom
look
in-
at commentators.
There's
that
I
was
took
the
two.
saga.
I took two. It was the E saga. I took two great screen caps. If you go to the first picture, you can zoom in Larry's making a face, and if you go to the second picture, you can zoom in and find Bam staring right into the camera. So, both amazing screen caps I grabbed, and I'm waiting for a good opportunity to use
Bam.
those. So check.
So that's where that's
Yeah.
picture.
Bam, aka Hannibal Buress.
Oh no.
Hannibal Buress.
Well, I can't look at him and not see Hannibal Buress, dude. It's
I see
Really?
it.
That is like legit, dude.
I love
Like,
Hannibal Buress.
it's kind of crazy. Like just when Bam wears glasses, he dead ass looks like Hannibal Buress. It's crazy to me.
Wow.
So, what do you
I've
got?
been a I was gonna say, thanks to this podcast, we've been able to draw parallels to Light being the guy from
Eastbound and Down, dude.
Yeah, from Eastbound and Down. And
Oh, that was
Van
great.
is secretly Hannibal Buress.
Yeah.
What's next?
I don't know if I
was
completely agree saying that like Ultimate or Smash 4 is like the death of grassroots. Like I just
Yeah.
I agree.
Well,
extraordinary gentlemen who have all made things better. You know, it's just like
that's true.
I think like adults, like we're still the same people from those roots, and like
I still think like not every tournament's gonna have Nintendo backing and the funding that like makes something esports. You know what I mean? Like I definitely think a lot of tournaments will still look grassroots. Like I definitely don't think that's going away 100%.
I think the
I also don't
regionals
think-
will. Honestly,
For sure, yeah, definitely, yeah, and even some bigger tournaments or like big regionals that like become A tier or whatever. Like I don't think like Let's Make Moves is gonna be an awesome tournament with some awesome streamers running it, of course. But is it gonna be is it gonna look like Shine where it's in a in a big what's it called, like a huge tournament venue, convention center? Thank you. Tournament venue, things like that. No, man, I have a feeling we're gonna be packed pretty tight in a room, and we're all gonna be super pumped about just playing the game.
We're going to church, baby.
Is that what
People
it is?
also think like one thing that I hate about the RIP grassroots thing. It's like just because something has a really good production value doesn't mean it's not grassroots.
yes.
Like I think that's what people
I don't
mistake a
know.
lot of it for.
I don't know. I think honestly I think that's a good distinction that you just made right there. But like I think that is a kind of a part of it. I think esports, and with esports comes money and better production value and all this other stuff. So I think that gritty look definitely might be the first thing we all thought of when someone said grassroots. You know what I mean? That gritty camera and the mics that peak at like if the way I'm talking right now, it would peak every single time. So I don't know. There was something special about that era of Smash for sure. I also don't know if DC wanted us to take that tweet literally. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. If he was like,
I mean,
yeah.
when you tweet something, you can
Really
interpret it in any way you want.
it's just a
Exactly. Yeah.
fine.
I think it's just a bit of commentary is how I took it. Like we can't lose sight of where we came from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you say, guys?
Huh?
I was gonna say, what do you say? How about all of us, you, me, a really stuffy Chinese food basement? Let's host a tournament.
That's up. That's what's up.
Chinese food?
Who's with me?
Oh, Chinese. Yeah. Is it like a Chinese takeout or is it like a Chinese buffet?
Catch me in the beef and broccoli bracket.
Sesame chicken.
Some General So's. That my new tag is General So.
Yo, that's my counter pick, bro. Hands off.
So this is an idea that I had last night talking to Haz and Chris, but since we are in like the basically the last legs of the game, like the game comes out literally Friday.
Toes.
How about we like kind of go around the panel and like kind of pick out like a specific moment or like thing about Smash 4 that like is our personal favorite? Because like despite all like the shit that like came with this game near the end and everything that came out of it, like there's a lot of like there's plenty of moments that were like groundbreaking, and like I guess I'll like lead the charge, like because Matt brought it up earlier how like there was kind of this cloud over Smash 4 when it first came out, but then like literally cloud came out, and like to this day that's like one of like to this day that's what like blows my fucking mind, because as someone that was like a Sonic the Hedgehog fan growing up, like obviously like when I found out that Sonic was in Brawl, I'm just like, huh, that's cool. And then they revealed Mega Man, and I'm just like, oh shit, I never thought that would happen. And then like they kept going to DLC, and then they added Ryu, and I was just like, where are they gonna go from here? And then like they dropped the fucking bomb, and they put like Cloud Strife in Super Smash Brothers, and like I fucking hate Cloud with every fiber of my being. Like that character is just like lick the window and like profit, but like I just like to this day it's just like I have to. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. But like I like wake up every morning, and like I have to remind myself that like Cloud's in Smash Brothers, and like so is Snake, and so is everyone else, and like that's like so fucking crazy to me still. Like to this, like that reveal trailer initially is like probably one of my favorite moments of like the game's life, TBH.
Dude, I think a lot of mine revolve around like some of the earlier tournaments. I guess around like early 2017. I've one in mind right now. I'm looking up the playlist right now. It's actually was like the first time we got exposed to out of region stuff. And by out of region, I really mean out of state. And it was when New York came to like South Jersey for one more game. And Freelancer Leo kind of came up and bodied everyone who wasn't James, essentially. And, like, I just remember everyone being real tight because, like, anyone who's met Freelancer Leo knows that he's just got, like, a big mouth and he's, like, pretty funny.
Yeah.
But
if
like,
you don't know Freelancer Leo, you hate him.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
that's
like...
that's precisely what happened at this tournament. Everyone like hated this crowd of people from New York. Meanwhile, like I'm sitting there, like I just met SPT. I'm talking to him, cool ass dude, like keeping me company behind the stream. And then like I think Dark Blues was there, Bonkai was there, and it's like wow, all these guys, like this is cool. And I remember like chat blew up because like all of New York, pretty much all of Xeno's following, were watching the tournament essentially. And I just remember at that moment, like realizing like wow, there's actually regions. This is pretty similar to like how sports goes. This is pretty cool, and like that was like that at that moment, like that made like a really like it made an impression on me, man. Like it made me like kind of realize what I was really dealing with. Because before that, it was just a bunch of small locals where I was watching like basically James abuse Gons, like just like that was basically it. So like,
but you know what SPT stands for.
For those in the back.
You can't say no, I can't say it. Redacted.
You can't say it.
Redacted.
Redacted.
Can't,
but
can't say it, even though it's a great acronym.
I have to try and find the specific. Oh, there we go. There's this. I tried to do like this. I tried to do like a crowd cam thing because I was just figuring it out. These overlays are awful, by the way.
They're classics. They're like certified bangers.
Yeah, I actually this is before I started to make all of them. Yeah, dude, I was just going back to that. But in either case, dude, like this one definitely left an imprint on me. But like, I don't know who else wants to go next because that's probably mine.
I'll go. Mine was also one more game, but it was the second one. It was actually the first tournament that I ever commentated at. March 18th, 2017 was pretty good for me. I mean, I went 0-2. I don't care though. Well, I'm pretty sure I actually have the bracket up right now. I could see, I could see where I did place in bracket, but this is like the first time I ever commentated on an MHG stream. And I kind of just went up and was like, yo, is there anyone commentating? Because I'd come from a sports broadcasting background because I did do that, basketball, football, baseball, for my college radio station. So I was already kind of like well-versed in just talking to a live audience on a radio or I guess TV, technically in this case. So I just hopped on. I started giving it a go at it. And I looked over at Chris a couple times, and he's just like nodding, like, "Yeah, this is like enjoyable to listen to."
Well, because, dude, I just remember because at this point, no one wanted to commentate because everyone was kind of shy, and doubles, like, people already didn't like doubles that early in the game. I remember in New Jersey, and no one ever wanted to commentate doubles ever, man. That was like
bunch of scrubs,
dude. I kind of agree. So like, no one wanted to commentate at all, dubs. But then ML would come up, and I shit you not, he would just like. I don't know what would happen. It's like he blacks out and then he just commentates the whole match like perfectly. It's just like he's calling out everything that's happening. He's adding like a little bit of context, and I'm just like, whoa, like what is happening?
I had the background, like I knew how to do it. I didn't think it was like that big of a deal. I didn't know people really because this is the first time I really like came to a tournament outside of like my college tournaments down in middle of nowhere, South Jersey.
Actually,
near the Salty Joystick area.
I actually found the Grand's VOD of you. It's funny because I'm looking at the room. It's like empty compared to the other one, but like.
Yeah. Also, I looked at the bracket. I did not go 0-2. I went 1-2. I lost to Jude in winners.
Eyes don't count.
For the record.
Yeah, for the record, my first tournament that I wasn't at a college campus, I went 1-2. Let's go. All right, that's it for me.
Let's see who wants to go next. I guess Hungry, you've been around forever, man. Like, what's you know all the things.
I was trying to think of like what's my specific favorite moment. I guess I have a few.
It could be a blend, man. It's
Yeah.
not like.
Well, one of my favorite moments is seeing Dugan versus Anti. I don't know if you guys have seen that set.
Man.
That set is actually nuts, man. He was inches away from reverse throwing Anti. He had to like go Sheik. Like if you could pull up that VOD, like
Is this
that's
a
crazy set.
hitbox tournament?
Yeah, that's a hitbox tournament.
I'm pretty sure I found it.
Like he just like the adaptation for Dugan was crazy, and he was my homie back then. I'm like, oh, that's the guy that comes to the tournaments that I go to. He destroys me. And I just see him just like being this close to being Anti. I was literally like shaking in my seat. I was like, oh my god, right? Another favorite moment, when I actually didn't know James this time, but watching the Midwest Mayhem stream, like I was just like popping off. I'm like, oh my god, James is going crazy. Like
Yeah, that one. That was the first time. Well, not the first time, but that was like the first stream with James that I watched, and I just knew him that he was from New Jersey, so I was like, all right, I'll just start rooting for because I know he's from Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. Like I hadn't known him at that point. As far as like specific tournaments, like it was really cool. Like what was that? I forgot the name of the tournament. It was like that one that it was kind of like in between all of us. Football Frenzy or something like that.
Smash Frenzy.
Yeah, Smash Frenzy.
Yeah, I felt like that was like the one tournament where like I did really good at.
That was a good point in time.
Yeah, I was like, I felt like I had made it as a player, like when at that tournament too.
Yeah, I remember that summer. You actually did like super well. You got like second, third. You won a couple of those tournaments during the summer.
I won the Final Cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great set. Thank you, Jen, for that carry.
Jen. Twice.
That's the House of 3000, Jen.
Yeah, House of 2000, Jen.
That was the first time I actually heard of Jen too, because I didn't really know anyone from New York at that time. Since that was still me just kind of entering the scene that summer.
Yeah, that was when
I went. I went to
Cutter.
legit everything in Jersey that summer.
What'd you say, Devin?
You guys like talk about like the things that happen like in New Jersey. I'm like, yeah, different world.
Well,
Really was, man.
it really is, dude. That's why it's like it's really interesting because you start to see them kind of collide, and at this point, I feel like the worlds have already mostly collided. I mean, here we are doing a podcast with like we got our usuals, has it here, and has a New England guy. Like we all know each other at this point. Like we've worked together, we've done things,
Yeah.
you know. We came, we saw, we conquered, kind of deal.
That's a pretty decent actually jumping off point if you don't mind me sharing. What is it? What exactly is the question again? Is it your favorite memory? Is that what it is, or we're just reminiscing kind of in general?
Favorite time.
Yeah. Like what's something that like you like that stands out to you like the most through over the game?
All right. Dude, so definitely in terms of like, because to me it was like a dual front, being like trying to be successful as a player and as a commentator later on, obviously. So getting the commentary grind and starting, people in my region were like, you're really, you should look into doing better. You should look at doing more of this and try to do stuff out of region. So in that regard, I remember Qatar specifically because that's where I met Koopa. And I remember like Qatar, that's where we met. So that was kind of a big deal for me because I went and there was no like Qatar. It was Qatar's tournament, so there was no real commentary schedule or anything. Like it just like
there
existed.
Never is.
Exactly. So it was like I was looking at the commentary stand and I was like, nobody was there. I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna go up and start doing. I'm feeling pretty confident. Like I'm gonna get up there and do this. So I started doing that, and then I think you hopped on with me, and then that kind of just started like me going down this path of trying to take commentary seriously because after the first day, you asked if I wanted to pair Koopa, if I wanted to pair on day 2 to do more commentary for the later bracket stuff. I was like, damn, all right, I guess like, my region wasn't just blowing smoke up my ass. Like maybe I am okay at this, So that I remember that, and then I remember Royal Flush was right after that, which is where I met Chris actually, and that was like the first time I ever like applied to an out of region event, and they picked me to do it. So that was like really cool because I really wanted to go to Royal Flush, and it was still one of my favorite Smash events. It was so much fun. Yeah, and then I would say too, like CEO, kind of continuing this train. CEO 2016, is that the one where Mars beat Renai? Is that one? I think it was.
That was 17, I think.
Was that? Yes.
No, I
yes.
think was it 7? I was gonna say I thought it
Yeah.
was 16.
Because 16's the one that anti won.
Because we had 28. Yeah, I only went to 2 CEOs, which is the most recent 2. So yeah. And I remember that being cool because I didn't even compete. I just went to do commentary, and that was the first time the first time I ever really did that. So it was like a final phase of transition into doing commentary. And I remember Mars went on a tear that tournament and did amazing. He got top 8, and him doing well at tournaments, like, he's like become a friend too. He was just like, dude, he was such a shit. Like his nickname was Shitty Kid. It was literally he's a shitty kid. Like, and I remember our first interaction. I had taken a break from Smash and I skipped customs. Like I just sat out from customs because I really just didn't like. I was like, fuck that. That's way too much shit for I'm not doing that.
You're not missing much.
I know, man. I watched the VODs and I'm like, you know what? I was the smartest thing I ever did. I was so smart. So I came back after that, and I was like a pretty like decent player in our region, like notable, like probably PR level skill. And I came back, and like a bunch of people were like, "Oh, it's cool that you're back. It's cool to see you again." And I go to sit down to do commentary, like for pretty much the first time ever. And Mars was on commentary. I was like, "Do you mind if I hop on?" And he goes, "Yeah, actually, I kind of do." And he was like a piece of shit to me, like immediately. So I didn't know who he was. So I was like, who the fuck is this kid? You know what I mean? I was like, who the fuck is this kid?
Where does
like,
he get off?
Exactly. But over time, like, obviously, we got over that. And he is still like, I love Light, and like Light is so fun to cheer for. And like Kool-Aid, like I love cheering for Kool-Aid too. Like a lot of people in my region are really fun to watch them play and do well. But I don't know, like Mars was really the first one to do it. So it was really cool and interesting to watch him do better and better. And so at CEO, I remember he went on a tear. So it was cool because I did really well at commentary. And Mars did really well and got top 8 at CEO. So I remember that just being a really fun tournament. And no stress, too, because I didn't have bracket. So it was just fun the whole time,
Yeah, I think the most exposure, I think like the one regional we got a really good look at like New England guys around here was actually Legend of Glintendo you guys showed up for.
Hell yes.
Yeah,
that
was awesome.
If you're in the Tri-State and missed that event, then you're banned for the first month of Ultimate.
I talk about that event all the time. Like it was just this silly little regional, but like for some, I don't remember why, but like Glenn and I were like, I think we were mutuals on Twitter, and I don't think we ever met or anything. Like I think we just talked shit to each other one time or something. And he was like, "You want to come out and do comment?"
That's what it's like to be Glenn.
He's like, "Yeah," but I was like, "I really like this dude. Like that's cool. Like whatever." So and then he's like, "I'm hosting this regional. If you want to come through and do commentary and chill," I was like, "All right, cool." That is, dude. Damn it, there are too many good tournaments, man. I always list that one. But I also got top 8 in doubles winner's side with Gunblade at that tournament.
Oh shit!
Amazing, absolutely amazing, fantastic. I remember James walked in right when doubles top 8 was starting because he didn't play doubles, and Gunblade walks up. He goes, "Yo, James, me and Has got top 8 winner's side in doubles," and James just looks at him for like he doesn't change his face at all. He just looks at Gunblade for like 4 or 5 seconds, and he goes, "Who let that happen?" Like a what
a dickhead.
Like not even making fun of us. He was just like, "Who let that happen? Like, why is that a thing?"
That's amazing.
So I love that tournament.
That's the most James thing I think I've heard. Like a story that I've never heard about James.
Dude, and I started laughing, and like he kept the same face, like he wasn't fucking kidding. He was genuinely curious, like who let that happen.
And for people who say grassroots is dead, Log was a grassroots event from the ground up.
Yep.
Yes, hell yes, dude. That was a great call. Whoever said that, that was definitely one of my all-time faves.
I still think all of these are pretty much grassroots. I got to be honest with you. Even the ones with Nintendo support, man. I mean, you look at the way some of these things operate, and that's actually something I'm looking forward to changing in Ultimate is maybe the way things happen as far as like integration of different streams and event or organizers and just like just working together.
Infrastructure.
What about you, Devin? What's your favorite moment?
It's really hard to pick, man. Smash 4 has been like such a ride, like, cause like I'm still like I'm a Brawl kid, you know. So like everything that like I kind of like do has been like slowly been coming to life from like that kid hosting Smash Fests in the Brawl days, you know. Smash 4 first came out and we finally had our first local at Nebulous, and like that was like the coolest shit because like now we could like finally go to things like more regularly, and we were older, and it was just so good. So,
Yeah.
like I think there'd be like each part of Smash 4 for me would be like a different era of experience. You know, like being able to like start regularly attending a local, and then being able to like was like really fucking cool, scary, terrifying, and just like awesome. That was like our first tournament was really crazy. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep. Got the Nebula stream up.
Oh man.
You know, and like even though that didn't like go out in like the best way, you know, it like led to such thing now here like with Xeno. Like, dude, like the first time like we had Xeno, like we had like the support with from like D1 like advertising it, and he came to cast the first Xeno. Like that, oh my god, dude.
I actually didn't know
Like,
that happened. That's pretty cool.
Did he still live in New York at that time?
no, he flew.
Whoa, what?
Oh my god! Wow.
Like, because like, see, this is it's hard for me to like link things that are only Smash 4 because it's like everything's kind of rooted. It's just like we used to go to Smash Fest together at Brawl at Polytech, and and like that's like where we all know each other. So like seeing like all the support like coming back around was like such a cool experience to see all the support and like everyone coming in and like supporting their scene and just like coming through and having a good ass time. Later in the scene when like things start becoming like more normalized, right? At least for me, like in the New York scene for like Xeno and shit. Generally doing like out of region stuff, like such a cool experience, like being able to like meet everybody. Like, yo, New England, much love you guys.
Hell yeah, dude.
That like
I know you know, in Devin, like, you know, props to you and our team over here in New England for kind of forging more of a relationship between Tri-State and New England. I mean, there always was one, you know, but we really worked pretty hard to establish more connections and communication and grow our scenes together rather than kind of just next to each other and no interaction. So I think that was cool by the leadership in both, you know, Tri-State and New England to promote each other's events and get contact commentators from both sides and to get carpools for, you know, our big regionals. Overclock comes to mind, and Xenosagas as well. Like, so that was a really cool growth thing that I remember participating in and feeling like it was very important and very beneficial for everybody. So
it was a really good life experience for like just saying, reach out, just message that person that you know has like is a part of that scene and like just start making things happen. Like that was like is such an eye opener. Just like it just like grow as a person. You know, it's something you just have to do. And my god, this footage, J Tails versus John Numbers.
Yeah, dude, crazy, huh?
Detonate J-Tails. Holy shit.
Oh god.
Yeah, like you don't like. It's hard to realize how long like 4 years is like longer than you actually think.
Yeah,
you know?
that's a presidential term.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like,
I just you guys will see it in a minute. This camera of Diddy from 4 years with Dyer is for some reason making me laugh.
Any good
he
meme
looks,
picture of
he
Biddy.
looks like such a kid.
Yeah,
Oh my God, Biddy.
pre-comb over, pre-hat, just like
Bro. Oh
rolled
my
out of bed
God.
look on him, dude.
Dude, Xeno's
Biddy
historic.
SSB.
Xeno's great.
Yeah.
One of the and like I think the most recent thing was probably Smash Sounds, because
God
work-
bless Smash Sounds.
of these different groups, like bro.
When was Smash Sounds? Because I feel like that was when the game was turning down. That's basically when 2GG was just like, yeah, we're kind of done with Smash 4, but like not
That was
directly.
like end of
last
End of
summer,
June?
I feel
I
like
think it was like June, July-ish.
July.
it had
I
that.
have
yeah.
I literally, if I was home, I literally have a Smash Sounds poster framed in my room because on the way home, like I was catching a flight and I stopped at the bar on the way and I had a few, you know, and then I was looking at the Smash Sounds. I was looking at the Smash Sounds Smash.gg merch page and it was open for like another day. I was like, gotta buy this poster now. So yep, and I have a Smash Sounds poster. That's my story.
Smash Sounds was such a cool thing because like I like and like we're still like all still trying to grow. So like it was such a cool thing to like meet this entirely new community, like the beatboxing community. That's fucking fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, what a
Yeah. Top 10 anime crossovers, dude.
yeah, for real.
Like,
Shot.
jeez.
And just like being able to like work together, like so much planning for like in such a like limited amount of time, because like Smashdown's like legit just came out of goddamn nowhere.
Yeah, it kind of did.
Yeah, it was kind of just posted on Twitter one day, like, oh yeah, here's a huge ass regional / major in New York City. It's like, what the fuck? That was out of nowhere.
That whole thing was kind of neat, man. That was basically like the overseas members of 2GG meets New York. It was like this little mini series that happened in Smash 4 that I actually think was pretty neat, because that whole week you saw those guys at the locals. Like those guys went to Xeno. They may have went to Aeon. I don't remember. Maybe not.
Yeah. It's like the Smash 4 version of a pop-up shop, basically.
Yeah, it's like, and I feel like that's something I'm looking forward to in Ultimate, like kind of the crossovers, because as things are developing and people are getting better, and even the smaller streams in the areas that you haven't heard of yet, like basically the next Tri-State that you might see, like the come up of people trying to actually put out consistent content and work with each other, like you got to figure that's going to happen, right? So over time, you're going to see like the crossovers, and I think that's kind of the most, like, what I'm looking forward to the most anyways, moving from one thing to the next.
Yeah, there were a lot of, and Devin touched on it earlier too, talking about connecting two regions that are right next door to each other. But Chris, you're kind of bringing that to the next level, and it's like regions that are separated by the fucking ocean, you know, and over to different coast to coast, and like it's really cool, man. The world is, you know, getting smaller, not just in terms of Smash, but like, you know, real life shit like internet and all that stuff. It's so much easier to just reach out and contact somebody and start working with them, and flights are getting cheaper, and communication, transportation, all that stuff is never been better, you know, from a real world perspective. So that just helps out. Everything like that helps out Smash so much, man.
Yeah, dude, it's hard
And,
not
like,
to be excited, but what do you got, Dev? I'm sorry.
Like understanding like what the work that you put in, like helps give you that courage to just like finally just like you hit them up, you know, like I thought it was such a, when we did glitch, right? I was just like, am I really trying to DM VGBC right now? Bro,
This girl's out of your league, bro.
dude. It's like I'm over here, I'm a 4, and they're like, oh,
We're not talking about this or this. We're talking about this.
impressive. It's just like cool thing. It's just like you just you gotta go that extra mile. It's so crazy, you know, and it's just
Yeah, that's like Oh, I'm sorry. You can finish.
it's hard to pick a really specific moment. It's just like all of those like milestones of like of like the scene growing together and stuff like that. Up earlier, I'm saying like, you know, streaming on Flash Media Encoder. I remember doing that, you know. So just seeing how like things, dude.
Jeez,
I'm
man.
like I'm sitting in my stream room right now on my dedicated stream PC. Like that's so fucking cool, bro. And it would not have happened if it were not for Smash 4.
Yeah, that's super true, man. I didn't know anything about this stuff, and I don't think I would have ever learned anything about this stuff if I didn't care a lot about Smash 4 at that point. Like it is funny to think about how the whole trajectory of like your life kind of shifts from something like a video game, but shit's real, man. It kind of it does. It sort of sneaks up on you.
It's passion, man. It's not, you know, not just a video game. It's anything, you know. You say that to, you know, Baker or any athlete or anything, you know.
Watching my best friends like grow as players, like I'm known to kill say he's day 1 of House, and like seeing him like where he is now, like it makes me so happy, you know.
And we're gonna
Like,
be seeing more of that, dude. Like, you know, you're gonna see more people from New York on that ranking, you know, and then like you know, you're gonna see Light and Mars. You know, those guys are gonna be probably climbing up the ranks moving forward. I could count on seeing like people like James Jackal, even someone like Justy, formerly known as Vivid. Like we've seen the potential.
What?
Guys like Are Hungry. No, man, but it is really cool to see that, and there's always going to be, like, and that's sort of how I look at the Master Hand channel. There's always going to be that archive of like character building, and in between all the tournaments that these guys appeared in, and like I think I've sort of made it my goal now to like add context to the VODs, because like that stuff is history in its own right, and there's always going to be people jumping in the Smash scene, and the more the stuff ages and the more it's categorized, like I think the more attention it will receive. But like it's got to just get put out there, and we're in that phase where we're kind of like laying the bricks out, so it's cool.
It's an unending tower. Like when it comes from Smash to professional life. One of the first things I read, not this isn't Smash, but one of the first things I read in a book I picked up when I was first trying to become a programmer, and I was a little ass kid, and I was like fucking like 13 or whatever. Like the first page was just like, stop learning. And I've literally just like, I say that to literally everyone, whether it comes to like personal experience or for Smash or anything. It's just like, you're never done. You're never done.
That's true.
And you need to be ready to never be done. The moment you're done, I'm sorry, but you're done.
That's when shit starts really happening to you in life. The second you kind of get comfortable and decide you're kind of good.
Yeah, like
gotta keep striving.
You ain't shit forever, you know. And so my favorite part of Smash 4 was all of Smash 4. Like
that's the easy way out, but it's a good answer. So.
Good answer.
I know.
But
I know. I don't want to leave anything out. Like, there's so many. Like, you guys said Smash Sounds, which, again, like, what an event. Like truly, that was. There's just too many. It was a great couple of years, man. With Smash 4 for real.
You guys had all these real ass answers. I'm talking about fucking Cloud Strife in the video game.
Another favorite moment that only Kyle's gonna get, and if
that's a really important part.
On the way back from Shine, Ben 10, top 10 moments.
Stop it! No!
No one's gonna get that, but Kyle gets it, and it's fine. If James is watching,
let me in.
He's gonna get it. Ben 10 was amazing. If you guys go on a carpool with us, you will learn about Ben 10 eventually.
I'm still upset.
Ben 10 was amazing.
Yeah, like
I'm sorry that nobody gets that.
First you'll watch Chili Dog, and then you'll watch Ben 10.
Yeah.
I guess for me to kind of, I guess since I've had time to think about it now, since I went first, like a more of like a sentimental thing for me outside of just, you know, the cool content stuff in the game. Genesis 3 was like a huge tournament for me personally, because like when I joined the scene, like I don't think as a commentator you aspire to be a commentator. It's just something you end up becoming or something like that. I don't know if like Matt can back me up on that.
Well, Haz,
Yeah.
what do you? Well, Matt, you know, let me tell you. Honestly, I disagree. But I disagree. But we can go into that later. I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, like it was just like when I first joined in the scene, I thought being a commentator would be cool, and I'd be like, yeah, sure, this is something I can like see myself doing. But like, if I could go back in time and tell like naive 19, 20-year-old me, like what would happen 4 years from now, I'd punch myself in the face, because like I could have never imagined like the path that you know I took in Smash, because I just kind of like stepped in it in all the right places, and like people seemed, it was like what Matt said about like, you know, people in the region kind of like blowing smoke up your butt a little bit and being like, yeah, no, you're really good at this commentary thing. And then Genesis 3 was like my royal flush to Haz, where like I applied to a tournament on the other side of the country, like not knowing what to expect, and I got accepted, and it was like the happiest fucking day of my life. And like it kind of like set the stone for me, like moving forward. And then like, you know, now I do all this stuff, and again I went from, you know, a pools commentator or like a local commentator you know, into becoming, you know, the guy for the most part. And like just like the opportunities I've been given and the friends I've met, and like the, you know, the places I've traveled, like all because of a stupid fucking video game. Like it all just kind of brings it full circle to me, and like that's the stuff that I'm gonna be like remember the most and be the most thankful for.
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing for me. Like I was just in Chicago to commentate esports for a weekend. Like 4 years ago when I picked up Smash for 3DS, I just entered college. I would not think that I'd be going to Chicago in 4 years just to commentate a video game. Like it's just crazy how Smash 4 kind of just changed my life like that. It's like weird to think.
Hey
This is
man,
life.
I'd had like I still have the same finance job, but that was kind of like I remember sitting in my my old offices and being like, I forget what VOD I was watching. I was like, wow, this is really cool, dude. This would be cool if this existed around me. And then that's like when that's like when I hit like the spiral, and then it just kind of happened. Like the difference is I do kind of consider this full time, even if it isn't like necessarily paying bills. But like the effort's there, and like I'm kind of like, you trust the process to some end. But yeah, man, this is stuff I definitely would not be doing if not for the existence of Smash 4. It's kind of weird to think about. But yeah, I mean we're running a little long now, but I don't even really mind. This is a send off episode. Most people are going to be playing Ultimate in this time anyways, so GG's this
Brawl.
podcast anyways.
I'm like legit kind of emotional now. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of good shit that happened in this time, man. And that's why it's like, as much as like even right now, I'm just like, man, no one gives a shit. Like Smash 4 is over. Like it still does not invalidate the past like 4 years, man. There's just been so much that has occurred in that time.
always the minority that's loudest. That's it. That's just what it is.
Yep.
The love for Smash 4 is there, and they don't have to say it. That's the thing. You don't have to say it. You know it. So it's the people who complain, and that's what people are going to hear, but the people who love it already know. And the scene is just growing and growing and growing. So the love is there. The proof is in the numbers.
Dude, you'll see that too in Ultimate. Like when you see the initial burst of the competitive scene and how into it everyone is, that's basically what 4 was until just things sort of went in a weird way. Like that's the best part is like it's not even like I don't even really look at it like it is an end of an era, but in reality, everything that was built on in 4 is mostly just moving on to Ultimate with the addition of other stuff. Like like maybe more melee guys. We're even gonna probably see rivals of Aether guys. Who will probably be contenders at that. So it's like there's just so much more to look forward to. So like we're gonna be seeing so many more worlds collide. It is really something to be excited about.
Like the Fortnite guys too.
When worlds collide.
Dude, just wait till Fortnite guy comes out as the 5th DLC.
I'm out.
I can't wait to get.
It'll have
Fortnite guys.
it'll have a ninja skin.
Dude, that's better. That's better than Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right, we're done. All right, nuke the bot. We're done.
Come on. Redacted.
But yeah, man, this is all I'm gonna say is moving forward, especially for Gloves Off in particular. The format's gonna change a little bit. I already experimented with a little bit of different formats starting off today, whether you guys realize it or not, in the form of like a new intro. I don't know. I just see so much potential to get things to be better. And I know, like, Dev, you and I, we were talking about this a lot yesterday. There's just so much more that can be done, especially just getting into the game, like, just to make the whole thing look even better. So, I don't know. I'm pretty stoked moving forward. Maybe a little bit emotional with this stuff, but not enough to really distract me from realizing that everyone's already kind of moved on by now. But, like, it's still nice to talk about.
May have moved on from the game that is currently being played, but they haven't moved on from Smash.
That is correct.
That's the important part.
Smash is life.
Yeah. What Dia said.
But yeah.
The next time I see you guys, I'll be a Zelda main.
Hey, that's my line.
Whoever gets there, Zelda's dressed first is the actual Zelda.
Goodbye.
Wait,
You're already dressed up as Peach, man. You think you gonna do it?
Yo, I'm fucking crazy. I'll do it.
We seen it.
I seen it. Fun fact about that dress, I had to cut it off me. So yeah.
but hey, on the bright side, you wouldn't have to do that now. So
yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
No, I definitely still have to do it. That dress is way too fucking
small.
Stop, man. Stop listening to
whatever.
shit, man. Oh my god.
Dude.
The tiara on him instead of the crown is the best.
Dude, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Dude, these are really funny, man.
They're not.
They're
They're so not funny, man.
Did you-
Imagine Ridley going to a tailor and be like, "Yeah, I need a tail hole for this."
Yeah, there's one more. This is everyone's favorite.
Please,
this
one
is-
more.
this
I
is
didn't
our-
know there was one.
This is what we're gonna end off on. It's gonna be Simon Belmont in Zelda's.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Simone Belmont, baby. Yeah.
Deliver me from this evil.
Oh no, dude, he looks like Prince Charming from the Shrek 2 movie.
Damn, he does. Lord Farquaad.
No, not Lord Farquaad. No,
Oh,
he
no.
literally looks like Prince
Lord
Charming.
Farquaad's the other guy. I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Lord Farquaad.
Lord Farquaad, yeah.
He's
It's the
he's.
first one.
Mhm.
Yo,
Jesus.
I for one welcome Simone Belmont as my new overlord.
Lord, forgive us for we have sinned
Yeah, he was way farther from God's life.
every day.
Wait, what's the opening line to that? The
Every
prayer on Good Kid,
day.
Mad City.
Lord God, no, I'm not doing
Yeah. Lord God,
it. Lord God, I come to you. No,
I've come to you today.
Nope. Redacted.
Redacted. This whole podcast has been redacted now. Oh, we were doing so good.
Nah, man, this has been a good one. But all good things must come to an end, and this is it, gentlemen. Next time we talk. Well, actually, that's not true. Xeno, Dev, you still got another Xeno tomorrow.
Let's get the events that are looking like what you need to look forward to for Ultimate.
Oh yeah, we could do that before we go. I'm unprepared, so I'm gonna
And
screen cap all
also,
of them.
Chris, really quick, Chris, but you're a liar. We actually have one more podcast coming up this week. Fun
Oh
fact.
yeah, you're right. I
The
am
super
a liar,
special,
dude.
awesome power rankings reveal for New Jersey season 73.
Yeah.
I don't actually know the number.
Yeah, it's because we weren't counting them yet, but we will be counting
Yeah.
them starting
It's,
frame one.
Summer fall 2018, I guess.
Yeah.
Quarter
something like
3.
But right,
Quarter
so
3 without a quarter 4.
so
Yes.
Yeah.
events that you guys need to know about. Actually, I have an easier way to do this. This way is gonna be a pain. Sorry, I'm like super underprepared for this because I'm ready to like change up this podcast a little bit, so I was not prepared for the ads.
Body bag.
But I got them.
Oh, and the Forge.
Yeah, the Forge. That one's awesome. I've got to find it though.
The Forge V3, I think. Maybe 4.
No, this is the second Forge. The first,
Well, Actually,
the
guys, this is the Forge Ultimate Season 1.
yeah, correction.
So excuse me.
The artist formerly known as the Forge.
Now that's going to be the new structure we're using. We're using seasons now, and there's reasons, mostly because there's no reason not to, since the game comes out in January. We could just follow the seasons, and I kind of think it'll make things easier to follow, quite honestly, and a little bit more watchable. So you have these 2 monthlies, and that's going to be my pitch. You have Platinum Star, which is always the first week of every month, first Saturday. That's not going to change moving forward. That's going to stay the same. And then the Forge, which you saw first, we have it here every third weekend of the month, but the first season is a little bit iffy because we're starting on the 4th Saturday, and then Collision is the 3rd Saturday in March. So I don't know. In the future, maybe. But moving on from that, we of course have Let's Make Moves, which we will be seeing the end of this month, and this thing is already like major level. It's already capped out. Gonna be pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Both Devin and I will be there streaming.
MHD and House 3000 do the production. All right, that shit's gonna be fucking fire. All right.
Yeah, dude, it is. It's gonna be. It's gonna be pretty
amazing.
sick.
Featuring Are Hungry.
The
I'm
most
featuring
important
my-
part of every tournament.
I'm trying to kill myself to make sure my tech is upgraded so that me and Chris can just like fucking destroy everything. You're actually
replay system when?
die actually.
Me and Haz are gonna hang out and go to Carlos Bakery and not go to Let's Make Moves. So.
Yes,
Dude.
yes.
That's a name I haven't heard
No,
forever.
I can't. Actually, I'm teaming with Cable, and I'm super pumped. And then we can get celebratory Carlos Bakery cake.
Ooh.
Cannolis.
Does Carlos even have lines anymore?
MHG and House 3000 also doing
Yeah,
this
dude, we're also doing this one.
fucking fire, fists through the walls, just like in the logo.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna.
Featuring
Just
Are
like
Hungry.
John Numbers at Zeno.
Oh no.
It was actually not a Xeno,
Oh,
but
you're right. I forgot it actually wasn't.
Smash Island.
Smash Island, dude.
Oh my god, I didn't even remember that thing's
The,
name.
the only tournament in America where you have to take a boat to get to it.
Wait, it was on Staten Island?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh
why it's
my
called
God.
The
Smash
production
Island.
will be fucking crazy at Let's Make Moves. Picture it 3 months later.
Dude, yeah, it's gonna be pretty sick, dude. Yeah, like for real though, like we're working on some things. So
By then you'll have that
hold
sweet
on to your
tax
butts.
return.
I can't wait for my
Yeah,
tax return.
Yo, same.
Okay.
I'm struggling out here.
Weekend, the launch weekend. All right, Xeno, we're doing whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, free play mini brackets. I still have no idea what we're gonna do in terms of like stream format, but it's gonna be awesome.
Money
Some
matches,
fun.
money
It's
matches,
gonna-
money matches, money matches.
That's actually not a bad
Money
idea.
match all the fuck you want. It's gonna be crazy. All right, we're gonna have like 15 plus setups, probably more because we got map monitors. People bring setups. There's gonna be just like there's gonna be so much just ultimate happening all the time. We're gonna
Featuring
be
Our
trying
Hungry.
out a bunch of new rules, a bunch of different rules, that stageless and all that. Definitely. Also, I don't have a slide for this, but the week after we're gonna have our first Xeno Saga for Ultimate.
Dope.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Is that
Oh,
continuing the numbers or is
no!
that starting over?
God, I will follow that weekend. Oh,
Right. Come fucking through Xeno
Got
Saga 20. That one starts off on a nice number.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I was about to
nice.
I was actually asking, is it going to start over? Or is it?
The number's
Continuing.
gonna keep growing.
Yeah, I imagine the weeklies would. I didn't know about the sagas.
The weekly should, man. You got like you're at like
you
100
can't
and
not
what
with
now?
the weekly. You got
The,
130,
The
37. I
illustrious
think?
139 for
That's-
Oh, 139.
Oh, so
My God.
you'll be at 140 tomorrow.
No, 139 is for
130.
Ultimate. Tomorrow's 138.
Oh, okay.
Also, for the weeklies, we're gonna be bringing back doubles.
Oh,
So-
Yeah.
featuring Our Hungry.
Hype.
Make
Because
sure that's in the stream title.
it works. Do things really fast. You already know. So, like, doubles will be at like 5 or whatever, and it won't be on stream, but you'll be able to like your doubles and singles. They're gonna be like back to back instead of overlapping. So definitely come through to
Sick.
that.
Yeah, man. Come out. We're gonna be seeing lots of new people,
Also,
so make some friends.
Real quick. Yeah, real quick on the subject of plugs. So Chris already mentioned it like earlier in passing, but we had the MHG unlocking party on Saturday at PSS. So bring your Switch and a legal copy of the game, pirates, and
Yeah.
we'll all play together. Please don't make a me. It actually makes the character select screen look terrible. Not that I would know or anything, but
We need
and,
to confirm nor deny that it makes a character select screen look bad.
yeah, I did not have sexual relationship with that woman.
With that game.
Do not have
and
game.
and also on Sunday is Smash Philadelphia Ultimate happening in the Oaks Convention Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the suburbs, and I'll be there. So if you guys like my face, you should probably watch.
Nice.
Even if you don't like
Uh,
Koopa's face, you should watch.
the radio broadcast of it.
Yeah,
Koopa's got a face made for radio.
yeah, that's what my mom tells me.
But yeah, so with all that, that's gonna be it. And yeah, we will see you Thursday. We're gonna do a PR cast, and then I guess that'll really be the end. And then we will all officially be in the future. That is Smash Ultimate with everyone who's going to be playing it. It's gonna be wild.
What's up in New England?
Oh yeah, Has, you got anything?
Chilling,
Oh,
chilling, dude. We're chilling. Let's see. Hold on. I know this. Hold on.
it's a
Give
trick.
me 1 minute, bro. I should have been looking this up, but instead I was
You're all
just,
coming to New York instead.
huh?
Question: You're coming to New
Hold on.
York. Saga.
I was thinking, let's see. Game Underground is starting a new monthly series, and that is happening on the 15th. It's called Push the Limit. It's Game Underground, so if you guys know their series, they were bigger for like TM and Melee back in the day, but they also had a nice Smash 4 scene. It was my go-to weekly for a long time, and
Oh,
it
they're
is
back.
coming back, and that's in Massachusetts, so go check that out. It's it's just north of Boston, west of, yeah. I don't know, dude.
It looks like Waltham, Massachusetts.
Waltham. There you go. That's what it is. I have it in my phone as the old address, so I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, that's the first upcoming Ultimate thing I'm really looking forward to in New England. And then Let's Make Moves is happening 2 weekends after that, or the first 2 I have on the books right now.
Party at my house.
Yeah, man.
That's right, man. Slumber party, baby.
Party at my house too.
How close are you to the venue? Can we get housing or something?
Which one?
Well, for me,
For Let's Make.
I'm like 45 minutes driving distance from the venue, so it's kind of a haul. But like, I'll see what my sleeping arrangements look like.
I mean, coming from New York, it's gonna be that.
Yeah, we'll talk. I'll see what my house looks like.
Bet.
It looks pretty.
Yeah, Kyle has a nice house.
Yeah, shout out to the
Bathroom?
Your fucking houses.
Yo, shout out to the young bathroom for real.
Right.
I want to do the crossword so bad, but I can't. It's your dad's, bro. I can't mess with this crossword.
I feel like I hijacked Chris's outro, so.
No problem at all, man. We should be advertising. I've gotten kind of bad and lazy at advertising on podcasts because we're always running late to begin with. But then, like, this time, I'm just like, this is kind of an exception, you know? Seeing off a game, talking about good memories, who cares? But with all of that, yeah, we'll be back next week. We'll be having some new format. I think we already mentioned this. Local Spotlight, especially for the first part of the week, will not be part of this podcast no longer. But fear not, it will be its own segment. And outside of that, we'll be doing all kinds of cool topics around Ultimate, the player base, and all the other stuff going on. You'll be seeing a lot of the guys who are in this call right now probably coming on again at some point in the future, you know, schedules permitting, and if they like us still. So, yeah, that's all I got. You know, if you're enjoying this kind of stuff, this kind of content, you will be finding it in just audio version pretty soon. That's going to be the big push for Ultimate, so it's just easier to consume.
Check that shit on iTunes.
Yeah, dude. And if
Spotify, iTunes,
if you guys are enjoying it, you know, do the homie thing and share it. Definitely appreciated. In the spirit of grassroots, this is one of those efforts where it kind of started with 2 people watching and has sort of expanded. So let's keep it going. Definitely appreciate everyone's support who's you know, not even in this call but watching, listening, and all that stuff. So it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll see you on Thursday. For those of you who don't really give a shit about the power rankings, which is not many of you watching right now, we will see you next week.
Yep.
And we'll be seeing you.
Love you, Smash 4.
Follow me on Twitch.
See ya.
4 on Twitch.
All
Follow me
right.
on Twitch. Art Hungry.
Follow me on Twitch. Matt Lamar, easy to find.
All right, bye.
We're still going.